Testing the mic. 1, 2, 3. Oh, goodness gravy, folks. Oh, I just caught the mic on my pants. What a problem to have right before a live stream. What? How did that even happen? Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. What in the... Alright, okay, it's fine. The show must go on. You guys aren't seeing my pants anyway. So it's fine, right? It's totally fine. Hello, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the official Rockfish Game stream where I am your host and your guide through all things EVERSPACE 2. I can't hear anything. I need to put my freaking headphones on. Eric Schrader, your community ambassador. Oh my goodness. Woo, I forgot to fill up my water. Dang it, I know I forgot something. That's okay, don't worry about that. What we're worried about today are all the new things that we've been working on and an introduction into what could be the fall update. Already! Oh my goodness. So we've got a couple of new things to show you today. And a slew of things to kind of discuss. Some stuff that's been going on in the backfield. The backfield? The background? The you know, the things you can't see. That's what I'm talking about. And boy howdy, it's been a fantastic little journey. So please journey with me as we travel into more content. Yeah. Awesome. So we're gonna start with the perk update. I wanted to show you this. I have a specific save for this in particular because the save that continues where we're gonna be playing from has all the perks unlocked, which wouldn't be very revealing of these intricate details of the perk update. So let's go ahead and... You can't hear me? Wait, what? It's mono, not stereo? Hang on a second. Oh my gosh, really? Why is there always a problem right before the stream? It's always the stream, right? Hang on, let's see what happens. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now it's coming in. Goodness. You know, it's so funny. It's not funny at all, but it does make me laugh. The number of things that are done in order to prepare for a stream. It's kind of absurd, okay? I don't know how many of you out there stream, like you guys know how many little intricacies there are. Every single Thursday, I go through and do a quick check to make sure everything's working. On Thursday, the day before the stream. Oh my gosh, and it never fails. It never fails. And ask any streamer, they'll tell you this is exactly what happens. Never fails. You get your stream all set up, ready to go. You've got all your checks and balances taken care of. Everything's in operation. You push that go button and 50 things break. Instantaneously. That's how streaming works. That's just how it works. I'm just letting you know, if you ever want to be a streamer, just prepare yourself, because that's actually how it works. All right, so now that everything's working, everything's in operation, wow, let's just start from the beginning. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream. I am your host and your guide and your servant, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, who will guide you through the processes and developmentees of EVERSPACE 2. Oh, that's why we're here. We don't care about any of that streaming garbage nonsense. So yeah, welcome. It's so good having you. We are going to take a quick look straight out of the way into this revamped perks thing, okay? All of this has been changed to a degree. So let's talk about that. Just by showing you this page alone, I think you've already gotten the gist of it. I think you already get it. Pretty straightforward, right? We feel like it should be. So the left side has consolidated perks a bit better, so that doesn't look like there's gonna be a bajillion perks. the right side shows you the progression of perk unlocks before you get the one before it. So here you can see a good solid example. You can pay only 70% for full repairs has been unlocked. We are working on the process to get pay only 70% for equipment repairs. And then we also see that beyond that, free hull repairs up to 30% of the maximum hull hit points when docking is that final third reveal. And it's all available right from the get-go. And this applies to every single perk now. So ones that have like a bunch of them, you get to see all of those stats before you unlock it. The only thing you don't see are the upgrade requirements for ones after the one you're working on. That's what you don't see. But we are very satisfied with how this is in operation now. So as a player, you can quickly peruse your perks and be like, oh, I really want to get this thing because of that third one instead of the first one that you're on. You don't see what's going to happen next, right? Like Alec in particular, like the first one in conjunction to like how he's going to assist you later. I think this is a really nice one because it shows you he's going to upgrade his weaponry and then it's going to add a secondary missile, the EMP specifically. And every single one, it does this, right? This one also is a nice one to see with the ship dealers since you don't specifically know what those are going to give. It's every single one. Every single one. Alrighty. Alrighty. So there we go. Oh shoot, I need to grab one more file. Oh my gosh, every time. This is my fault. You guys, this is a general streaming issue thing. This is just me being a complete doofus. Let me see. Let me find my file here. Oh, gosh. Okay. Now we're good. Now everything's good. Goodness gravy. Okay. So, I've got questions already coming in. Geekbyte, thank you for cataloging those. And let's start answering a couple of those after we've shown the perks here. And then we will keep cruising around and show you some new content. So that's a big reason why you're here, aside from, asking questions, getting clarity. So first question, a location challenge in Drake says to find 3 submerged things. The sea is huge. I found just one next to a huge skelly. Are there any leads to where the other 2 are? At this point in time, the only leads that there's going to be are basically how the level is designed itself. So like if there's a particular pattern or design in the level itself, like the world building, if you will, or not the world building, what's the term I'm looking for? Is it level design? Yeah, I guess it's level design. Like if you see a little house on a hill, there's probably something to do around that site, right? Like if there's a mountain range that's curved like this and there's like a path that kind of goes down it, then obviously it leads your eyes there, stuff like that. So at the moment, I don't think there's anything other than little key visual indicators that would clue you in as to where they may or may not be. But some of those are actually a bit more challenging than most others. So yeah, there's going to be a couple more tweaks and refinements towards the level design anyway. We could, in fact, see those in Drake for this specific mission. So yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. Then another question we have comes from, here you can also see this one. We simplified this so it's not misleading. Since our target is 30 levels for Adam, now we have exactly space for 18 perks here, which would be after getting level 30. Next question, what are the current plans on optimizing the game? Shoot, there's so many different ways to optimize. Every version of the game seems to run a bit less good. There's quite a bit of hitching going on, especially in larger bases. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that especially when we release new content. Like there's gonna be like a little hiccup because we're just like throwing a lot of that content at you. And optimization comes through like the experimental branch, for example, but then also through feedback of the early access phase in general. So if you're looking for the most optimized game to experience, that's gonna be full release. The full release is like after everything has been built, right? Like everything has been established, everything has been optimized. So through the process of getting there, you're gonna have some clunks, you're gonna have some hiccups, you're gonna have some bobbly boops, you're gonna have some what's-a-doozits. Insert weird word here. That is the experience of early access. I know that that's not really an expectation that gamers have anymore, but I think it's a lost one that should absolutely still be present. Early access is very much not complete, and you will encounter issues. Guaranteed. 100%. You will. And it's our job to fix them when they come up. It's your job to let us know that they are coming up. So thank you for letting us know that you're having some issues on your optimization. Or rather your experience that feels like things aren't optimized. I know that we could even get further with such a question if you provided like your system specs on the forums so that we could maybe even identify a key issue at hand, whether it's on your end or it's on ours, so that we can authentically do something about it. I spent a lot of time talking about that. A little bit of a tangent, but seriously, lower that expectation of early access being perfection and realize there are going to be bugs and issues and all sorts of whoops-a-daisies. All right, I'm going to do one more question and then we are going to slap back into actual gameplay instead of just staring at this screen. That's really kind of cool, actually. I really love how we've redone this. But this one, you could see the clouds moving from space on some planets in EVERSPACE 1. Will that be the case here as well, or is it already? Pretty sure that you can see that. Pretty sure that's already in effect. But shoot, we can check it out and see if I'm wrong. No big deal. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of, especially like in Superlight, we wanted to make sure that there were a lot of pleasantries when you're looking around. Otherwise, what's the point in having Superlight exist instead of just instantly going from one point to the other? Like if part of the journey isn't the visualization of it, then, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I also have a different ship here. I wanted to go for something a little bit more, I don't know, pointy. And I also changed my colors around to this orange sort of highlight. So we'll be flying around Coalition, as well as the Drake system itself with this new ship. We also have a couple new armaments that will benefit our cause here. And one of those is a familiar weapon, even though the artwork on it is not done. But let's talk about these cruise missiles. Let's talk about these cruise missiles. First off, that's a lot of damage for being level 21. And I want to clarify, I want to point that out. For level 21, for a single missile, that's a lot of damage. That's a crap ton of damage. So, let's talk about this. We have crap tons of damage. We have a range of 4,000 meters. We have an incredibly slow fire rate and a pretty long lock duration. I have what might be the best two modifiers on this weapon. Plus 10% damage for each second the missile flies. And remember, it's 4,000 meters. 4,000 meters, okay? Also, what it doesn't tell you here is the velocity of this cruise missile. And why is this important? I'm gonna show you right now. This cruise missile doesn't exactly go very fast. Like, we can dang near fly with it. And look, it goes for a long time. It goes for a very long time. All right? All the way up to this point. Now, just imagine getting the maximum range where it's getting plus 10% damage for each second the missile flies. I don't know if anybody was timing that, but I'm gonna it's give or take like 8 seconds. All right? So take this damage and then dang near double it. Yeah. Oh yeah. It gets better though, guys, because remember, it does lock. So this is different from the plasma torpedoes. It's evolved since then, because even though the lock does take some time, let's get in, we're not gonna fire at the drone, but let's just use this as an example. It will, in fact, lock. So if I fire it wonky, it does, in fact, correct itself. Shooting at a drone was a bad choice because even though its velocity is slow, its turning radius is also sloppy. So the lock is nice. A very nimble target is still going to evade this. A very nimble target is still going to evade this. But if you're looking to take on bosses, really big ships and whatnot, to like just really clobber them, you're going to need cruise missiles. Especially if they get more tough. Anyway, so cruise missiles, they're fun. I like them. I like them lots. I've been able to experiment with them a little bit in little situations. They're quite powerful. So, today we are going to fly over here to this Drake research station. Two things to point out. One thing, first thing, is that when we talked about the tools to fast travel, spatial bypass, we discovered that it's broken for Drake if you continue saves past acquiring spatial bypass. This is one of those things that is an unfortunate side effect of old saves and not having their flagged data accordingly. So when I go here, I am not going to have a spatial bypass opportunity whatsoever. But if you start a new save, you absolutely should. You would absolutely be able to spatial bypass into the Drake system. Isn't early access fun? Oh my goodness. But otherwise, what I want to do in this Drake research station is the location challenge, because I think it's lots of fun. And we're going to use the cruise missile and stuff like that. I do see more questions spawning. I will get into another question phase. First, I want to do this research station little quest, and we'll probably use another new tool that we have to help us out as well. All right, let's defeat these incoming waves of fighters. Also, hang on a second. Okay, just making sure it's on very hard. You don't want somebody to think that we're not playing on a difficult level or something here. Also, I don't want to get frozen, so we're just going to use our front shield generator here. Excellent. Now, I'm sure that there are plenty of you veterans of EVERSPACE 1 who are like, yes, front shield generator. This was like one of my favorite things on the gunship. Well, hang on a second, because it gets better. And let me show you just how it does. So, let's check out the front shield generator. We have it mastered here. Projects an impenetrable shield towards the front of the ship for 19 seconds. That's its mastery. And then for all of you big fans of a certain character that probably exists in pop culture, we have 3 modes, aptly named, that do some pretty incredible things. The first one, Avenger, reflects blocked shots back to attackers. Well, chef's kiss for those of you guys who love instilling as much pain and suffering on those who try to do the same to you. Next one, which I'm using, block damage is converted to weapon energy. It's called All Day. Very, very nice if you want a clear, sustained amount of damage to return fire. And finally, on your left, shield is 25% smaller, but it will automatically turn towards the closest enemy facing you. Let's go ahead and use that one right now, just so you can kind of see how it works. So regardless of where you're pointing, say this other drone's been causing me a lot of grief, it's now gonna cover me from that particular drone while I'm dealing with other things, and then I can come over here and take it out. Kind of a nice mix-up, nice change of pace. Except now we really need that front shield generator. It gives you a lot more flexibility than the original front shield generator initially had. Now, obviously, certain modes are going to be for certain play styles. Some of you, especially when you're getting overwhelmed by all the things, you're probably not going to want it to be manually pointing. You're going to want to point it to your liking, right? So, yeah. Mileage may vary and how useful these different modes can be, as it should be. I just think it's a lot of fun because it looks cool. Because that's how it works, right? If it looks cool, then it is cool, right? Or if it, I said that wrong. If it looks cool, then it's good. That's what I meant to say. Wow, my aim's a little off today with this coil gun. Ooh, blueprint. What'd we get? EMP missiles. Nice. All right. Cool. All right, let's engage. Oh, look at that. He's got a front shield generator too. It's almost like you guys were probably expecting this to happen soon. Here, let's try out. Let's see what happens if we fire this at his front shield generator. Wow, he absorbs all of that? I was hoping for some splash damage, but okay. I've never done that before. Here we go. Oh gosh. I fired it before I had a lock. How dare I? We'll have to get some more of those. Hold still, please. Much better. Much better. Another blueprint? Oh my goodness, they're just giving me everything. I love it. Woo! Let's see what we can do on this front. That's a spicy meatball! Alright, my gosh, 2 more blueprints? Wowzers. Just give me all the blueprints, would you? Trying to get ourselves a little bit of space. Now, you guys probably know this, but I am actually under-leveled at this site. So, I should absolutely be getting a lot of pain and suffering if I'm not utilizing all the tools, which is why I'm trying to use all my tools. I also like how when you have this, like I'm totally blocking the rear of my ship while I'm focus firing at somebody else. I like that particularly a lot. Now we got wave 5. Ah, yes. The Retaliator drone carrier, which I was hoping that we would have some missiles to use on. Unfortunate that we used them all. Hey guys, I have an idea. Go look over there. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, the music. Go look over there somewhere. It's amazing. That thing I just saw at the corner of my eye, that thing, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Definitely Don't look at anything behind the curtain. Because that's not what's important. Absolutely not. Nope. Nay, I say to thee. All right. Hey, where were we? Where were we? Ah, yes. Oh, hang on a second. I need to push another button. Excellent. Great. Wow, I got these high capacity cruise missiles. That's great. So we're gonna wait for those to charge up. Should only be 15 seconds. And then I want to get really obnoxious because I think I can actually drop this in a single shot. I think we can. And also, just imagine this on a scout that does even more damage. Oh, he's kind of moving away. We might need to fire again. We're gonna see if that gets there. Oh, it was just short. Oh, that's so sad. All right, next one, come on. Hang on a second. I tested this earlier and it was much more impressive than that. Hang on. Let's see. I want to see the numbers. Let's show those damage numbers. Let's do this again. And now maybe the armor's out of the way. We basically just mass destroyed its armor. That was a pretty chunky shot, actually. But yeah, you can see it's doing a tremendous amount of damage. It's probably the fact that I'm level 21, firing a level 21 version of this on a level 22. But regardless, you can tell that that's not a small amount of damage coming from a secondary weapon, like at all. Last note to point out, actually, is that every time that I fire, that was 68k damage. Every time I'm firing one of these, if you look right below me, you'll see that there's actually a little cooldown meter now. There's a cooldown meter that shows you how long you have to wait until you can fire again. And that works on all weapons, on all missiles. So you can very quickly get a sense of when you can fire again. But yeah, in comparison to our little pot shots here, yeah, we did a crap ton of damage with that secondary. 34k in a single shot, and each one of our little shots here is anywhere between like, what, 800 and 1,000? That's quite the difference. Quite the difference indeed. Oh man, we should have saved some more of them. But obviously, to compensate for this, it shows up in a very low number. So you can't have a lot of these unless you have like all of your secondary weapon slots filled out with them. But in general, they only have like 3, 4, 5 slots that you can fill with this missile since it does so much damage. Let me also change the setting. I don't like looking at numbers. So I turn that back off. And now let's take out this destroyer. Excellent. Protect ourselves from those little dronesies while we're focused on... Oh gosh. That's pain. That was painful. But it's okay, we can fix this. I found a bug. Oh gosh. Oh, that's the best. That is the best. Oh my goodness. The number of times that I have smoke tested before streams. Honestly, I think we should keep it. I like it. It's great. Can't see me. Nope. Oh my gosh, guys. Isn't early access so much fun? Isn't it just the best thing in the world? Man, all this overheating and stuff. It's gonna be my demise, I'm telling you. All right, we gotta gain some space. We gotta make up some ground here. Let's use the tools that we have in order to recover from this. Goodness gravy. Do we even have anything to craft? Oh, great. We got these small nanobots. That's fine. Oh, goodness. Fantastic. Let me tell you what. If you're at this point in the game and you don't have many more, I'm seeing why so many blueprints are dropping now. If you don't have very many blueprints and you're at this part in the game, there's probably a problem. There's probably a problem. This one's definitely showcasing how I have altered this save state to give this presentation. Anyway. Woo! Let's get back into the fray. Do what we can. There's a couple more weak points on the vessel that we can focus down. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, there's not much left of him now. Awesome. Very good. This was all worth it. So we got ourselves another mainframe component, and of course we got ourselves a group of items to tackle as well. Nothing super crazy, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. Or blasters busted, we'll just use this intuitive blaster instead. Or equalizers busted, so we'll use the intuitive blaster. That's way better, thank you. But yeah. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that enjoyable? Goodness. Might only be able to craft nanobots, but at least you had money. Oh my gosh. Yeah, money is so important in battle right now. Thank you for that, that's great. All right, so I'm gonna pot shot a couple more of these guys. Show you this tracking shield generator a little bit more. I'm a big fan of it. It's just fun to use. And also, for anybody who's probably out there wondering, like, man, why is it orange? Why is the shield orange? I'm not sure I like that. I wish it could have been in a different color. Well, boy, do I have news for you. Later. Oh my god. So let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Maybe. I want to pick it up. Take out this punk. Excuse me, I was not done. Wonderful. All right, now that things have calmed down a little bit, I think we can go ahead and... Oh, this did actually generate. I did fix my save. Oh, excellent. So yeah, you can actually see spatial bypass is totally possible here. Something that I was pointing out just a bit earlier, but there is in fact a spatial bypass location in Drake. Right at the top of this dear destroyed station. Let's destroy things a little bit further, shall we? Excellent. Oh, there's a shield. Oh. It's almost like there's something I have to complete in this area to bring that down. All right. Cool. So now that the space is a little bit calmer, I'm gonna go ahead and just fly in the innards here, just because I can. Hide for a second. And let's have some more conversation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo! Man, so much chaos in that little section just to talk about two very important things. So let's just talk about it a little bit further. Yeah, these cruise missiles can be insane. It's gonna depend on how you're putting them together and all of that fun stuff with your builds. I think scout players are going to rejoice because we actually went through and we discovered something. Let me pull up my deets to make sure I get this 100% accurate. But yeah, so we fixed how the scout's expertise wasn't increasing the range of secondary weapons. So this is after your particular build. And this is incredibly relevant to tools like the high capacity cruise missiles, because what that means is that this is going to get expanded range. So if you had something like damage for each second the missile flies, that's going to increase that damage naturally, authentically. So your scout is going to be able to like do some major super sniping stuffs with secondaries as well, not just primaries. So for those of you who like that sort of gameplay style of always getting the jump on your opponent before they see you, this could be a very powerful tool if you're flying around in a scout. So yeah, that's a pretty big one, I feel like, is coming to you all. But obviously, we are talking about this front shield generator a lot. I'm gonna use Avenger now, just because it feels really nice, especially if you were to have, I don't know, say, retaliation in addition to that, but we don't have it yet because we're not level 25. Sad. Still, yeah, reflect blocked shots back to the attackers. This is taking those shots exactly and sending them back. So I'm gonna be very clear on that front, and I'll just showcase it so that you are aware of what it's doing. This is not receiving the damage of a shot and then putting the damage on your opponent. This is literally taking the shot and bouncing it off your shield. So let's see if I can generate some attention for this guy to show. Come on, you're gonna fight the other guy. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so let's see. You see that? It's bouncing. Is that bouncing off of my shield? Oh, that actually hit him too because he got way too close. Come on, one more time. One more time. Please? Please? No? No, your shield's gonna expire first? How dare you? I was hoping to action freeze it. Maybe we'll find another one. Oh, here we go. Maybe one that's not engaged with somebody else. Come on. Here we go. So you can see that they are literally bouncing off of our shield and they are returning to sender. Okay? So, yeah, look at that. So all of the effects, all of the damage, all of the everything that's associated with the shot itself will be returned to that fighter. So theoretically, if I were to be taking enough damage from a particular opponent who was trying to burn me out or freeze me, I could return it and do it back to them. So it's not, this is not the same thing as thorns, okay? This is a literal redirect of the projectile. I'm gonna be very clear on that, okay? So it's not just, oh, they were gonna do 70 damage to you, now they take 70. No, 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 no. It's, they were attempting to apply all of the effects of this shot, and you're returning that back to them. And you do not have to, if anybody's wondering, you do not have to align the shield to get like a perfect angle back to them. So long as they shoot it, like if the opponent was kind of like over here and shooting at an angle and hitting the shield from over here, it's gonna reflect it directly back at the point of origin, okay? All right, I think that kind of covers most of that. Yeah. Questions! Let's do some more questions. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll go ahead and hover over this so you can kind of read this while I'm answering that. It'll be fun, good fun times. All right. So could be missing something, but in the current version that's live, ship passive re-rolling and ship catalog re-rolling isn't in, or perhaps not working. It should totally be in, but you do have to upgrade a perk, specifically this one from Terrain called Ship Dealers, in order to obtain that. So if you have this completely maxed out and you still don't have those options, there's a bug there, and I'm not sure what's going on, but we would love your save file to fix it. That's for sure. All right, next up, Do you agree that, I already don't like the way this starts. Do you agree that ARC 9000 should be fixed to work underwater properly? No, it's dark matter device, so it should, right? Yes, probably, I don't know, but I'm not a scientist. What I am is a game design consultant, and I want my games to be fun. And we have imposed a specific restriction underwater, which is you can't fire weapons. So that just simply needs to be consistent all the way through. So that includes the ARC 9000? No, it's not meant to be fired underwater. I think the video that was posted on the Discord was rather hilarious, and that it could be fired underwater and immediately explodes in your face. But yeah, that's gonna be removed. That will be removed. There were some cool things in EVERSPACE 1, like those solar storms and dark nebulae and whatnot. Will the fall update Ancient Rifts have them? I love this question. However, if I told you yes, that would be way too revealing and possibly lying, but maybe not lying. What? But it's probably lying. But also, there's a lot that we want to do with the Ancient Rifts and kind of the new places that you'll be experiencing through that. I think it's gonna best be like experienced once it get here, when we're able to share more on that at that time. I do know that we've had a lot of complications with environmental spaces in EVERSPACE 2 that were already introduced in EVERSPACE 1, like black holes, for example. I know that from a technical standpoint, there haven't been too many challenges. It's been more of the world building and the accessibility standpoints through our gamification of our more pseudo open world experience being had here. So long story short, it's possible. How's that for a simplified answer? All right, so anywhere on your ship's page, you can see boost speed. On a striker, you can see how much expertise adds, but not your total. Oh, you're talking about, okay, yeah, you're talking about like the differences, basically, yeah, okay. So technically, no, there's an on-screen dashboard inside the cockpit that gives you a value. It's like it's right there. It's that one that went to 0. So like as I'm moving, here I can do this to show you. Oh yeah, oh, clipping is the best thing ever. But this number right there, that's effectively our speed. And when you're boosting, it also does show up as well. So like here, I'm gonna boost and, oh man, I'm glad I didn't hit a weird combination of keys that would break things. Oh my gosh, I love this. But now you see like boosting, oh, it's over there. There we go, wow. Now you see boosting right there, 828. You're getting a sense of like, how fast we're going with all of the stats that have increased, but otherwise, you don't really get a sense of the overarching values. It's more of like how it feels in game. That's what we're really going for. Otherwise, this speed right here is kind of like the be-all end-all trait that we have a lot of individuals refer to when you're trying to figure out your speed. And then from your boosters, there's obviously a lot going on here, but if you really want to crunch those numbers, you would basically apply these percentages directly to your speed, and you would see those alterations. So let me see, I want to just double check and make sure. Yeah, so yeah, unlike shield, armor, and hull, I'm pretty sure speed does not change here based on what you have plugged into your ship. You have to just see that percentage difference between your speed and that. I might talk with the team and see if there's an allure to having that update like shield, armor, and hull, but I don't know how feasible that is in the current game state. Regardless, I like the question a lot, but there's not too much more to authentically add to that, unfortunately. Then we're gonna do 3 questions. Oh my gosh, 3 more questions, and then we will go back into gameplay. Cruise missile. How does this work with the free missile every 1.5 seconds? This cannot get that modifier. So in other words, it doesn't work. It does not work. You can't have that modifier generate on a cruise missile. Does this override the listed fire rate on the missile in the stats? Because that doesn't work, it's irrelevant. Or is the free missile after crit chance only launched after 1.5 seconds and after the listed rate of fire on the missile? That's how it would work, but it's not applicable here. I don't think we have any missiles that take longer than 1.5 seconds. We probably do, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Corrosion missiles might, maybe? No? Regardless, no, that's not gonna stack like that. No, it's not possible to generate on a cruise missile. That being said, it is possible to get the lock duration decreased for a cruise missile. So if you don't like that 4-second lock duration and you'd rather have something like half a second, you can get that. And we're happy with that combination. That's a very pleasant one to have, depending on the situation that you're in. All right, because those are 3 rapid fire questions, I'll do one more. Does playing on harder than normal difficulties also increase loot drops and XP gained, or does it affect the global difficulty? It just affects the global difficulty right now. Your question also kind of pokes in and you say, will it in the future? This is a great question. What I can say is that there will be inherent differences to how the game's internal processes occur based on difficulty, instead of it just being enemy harder to go boom, and enemy easier, right? Like there's gonna be much more distinctions there. Now, in regards to the depth of that, those features and those tweaks and those everythings are still being decided as more content is being added to the game. We can't plug it all in because then we'd have to redo a lot of it because of more content that's showing up. So that's why we didn't want to release the difficulty early in the first place, but also we decided to push it out the door since a lot of you guys were needing a little bit of assistance or wanting more of a challenge, and that's fine. But yeah, the revamped difficulty system will be much closer to 1.0 release so that we can truly and authentically bind it to the content that the game has. Cool. All right, I think that's enough questions for now. So yeah, we will continue the gameplay experience and talk about a couple more little details. One of the things that we did tweak was the Zerilia drone damage, which you probably saw a little bit in combat here. That's a scout, dang it. But the drones don't nearly pummel you to death with their beams. That's a pretty large issue we were seeing across the board, either through feedback, through complaints, through our own playtests. How did it sneak in there? Man, I don't know why every time a game is developed, it's just not perfect the first time it comes out. I don't get it. But regardless, this is fun. Woo! All right. So, let's go somewhere else. Do you like that? Somebody's like, I didn't know that was there. It's fun. It's fun. It gives her a real good sense of speed. All right, so let's do a job. Let's go destroy this base for the Coalition. Not owned by the Coalition, but for the Coalition. A job for the Coalition. And then we will keep going. I'm making sure I'm not missing any like cheeky comments and whatnot in the chat because I watch you guys. All right, the original Drake theme's back. I don't know what's happening with the super light music. Don't ask me. I don't have a clue. Somebody's messing around with stats. I wasn't, like, sincerely, it wasn't a point of conversation in any of my meetings this week. I've been so hyper-focused on other details. And, you know, flying through Drake, I'm testing all the things, like, all of a sudden, super lights changed again. Either Garo's having fun, or something's getting stuck in, like, you know, some level of figuring out what we want. I don't know. Either way, I like both of them. Which one do you guys like? The one that you hear on the streams right now, or the one that you have available? I'm curious. I'm legitimately curious. Oh, that's problems. All right, hang on a second. Let's reevaluate our positioning here. Wow, that's a lot of bombers. All right. We probably need some better weapons. Here, let's, uh-oh. Woo! Let's get closer to the base. I'm sure that'll help. Let's see. Man, all this stuff that's too high a level for us. That's a little frustrating when you're in a higher level location than where you're currently at. I wonder if maybe something will inevitably be done about that. But anyway, I think I'm gonna try and... Oh yeah, here we go. Let's modify this. This'll be fun. Because we didn't have enough control over our ship before, so now let's let it just get pushed around. Oh yeah, that's much better, much better. Just the way I like it. Let's get this damage booster out of the picture, that way they're not doing as much. It's basically like an aura effect, passive, that just makes every enemy have greater damage nearby of that type. And we can't have that. Wow, this base is actually kind of big. Let's get some more distance here. So many bombers. All right, we're gonna have to take some of these guys out. All right, first let's slow them down. No! Oh! Ouch. Woo! Goodness gravy. All right. All right. Woo! Challenge completed. Destroy 5 enemies in 5 seconds. And a level up. That's a welcome change, to be sure. Let's use our ultimate on the base, because that makes sense, right? Whoop! Bounce. That made things a lot easier, actually, so cool. Ah, I got frozen again. Oh, look! We did a pretty healthy amount of damage back to him because of that reflection. Feels pretty nice. Very good, very good, very good. Really would like to get these missiles that are firing at me that keep freezing me over. Oof. Like this one. Oh my gosh. There we go. Here's another quick change, which is why I was doing this particular job. So if you look around, you'll have noticed that I'm dying, but also the contents of what gets dropped from destructibles is now not just plasma, it's also scrap metal. Yay! I know some of you guys were like really trying to figure out where to get scrap metal. Yeah, if you blow stuff up now, you have a greater chance of getting scrap metal. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that blowing up stuff would yield scrap metal? I know, we're crazy. Just like waiting to look over at chat and be like, but Eric, that's too realistic. I thought you were making more of a fantasy-like game. Oh, you guys. All right, there we go. Oh, also look, Isn't that fun? You can see the Retaliator bomber shield does a reflection. There we go. There we go. It was nice to destroy that drone before he even left the hangar. Whoop. So many chatters, I love this. You guys are incredibly active while I'm trying to like really focus in on actually besting this base. We're almost there. All right, now we should have a boss incoming. Yep, there you are. Gosh dang it! This keeps happening. It's super cool looking, but dang, that's a ooh, that's cool. I like the you see the ship under the ice because I actually really dig that. That is aesthetically pleasing to me. Anyway, all right, there we go. Yeah, we really need some better gear here to do this faster. We technically don't need it, but you know. Oh! I like how I say that and then I immediately die. Perfect. That's a excellently timed statement. Very good. Anyway. So let's catch up on chat a little bit, but you can see there's a lot of different components that are coming together. We're realizing over the course of development. A lot of this front shield generator stuff where you're probably getting a sense, you're probably getting a feeling of how the front shield, based on how it looks, it's doing something very specific. So like whenever we're using our front shield right now, in a normal setting, it's showing up like this sort of red-orange sort of color to indicate, normally it would be indicating that it is retaliating the opposing force versus maybe like the blue of the ironically named retaliators, which is reflecting the front the weapons being shot at it. And maybe there would be another different color if it was rotating around your ship. So we see like a red against Zerilia, we see a blue against the retaliators, or maybe a white. I'm not sure. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Are there any Marvel fans out there? I'm just really curious. Anyway. All right, so we could do this mission again, or we could jump over and do some questions. Hey! So let's go ahead and jump over to our inventory space. You just see the mess that is. Oh my gosh, what a garbaggio mess in our inventory that if I was playing this authentically, I would clean it up a bit more. All right, so I think I missed a question from earlier, so sorry about that, Bill Farson. Oh wait, no, we actually answered that about the cool things like the solar storms and dark nebula. Yeah, so we already answered that one, sorry. We got you covered. Next up, do unguided rockets have a cooldown now? So they are technically guided rockets, but there is a cooldown. So when you fire them, see the 0.2 per second fire rate means that you have to wait a bit of time before firing it again. Because the fire rate is how many times you can fire, right? So like in comparison, like the Jaeger can fire 5 times per second. This can fire 0.2 times per second. So quick maths tells me that it takes 5 seconds for this to refresh. Okay, so 0.2 per second fire rate means it takes 5 seconds to fire. And this, we made that cooldown applicable to all secondaries. So now, like, let's create a new secondary here. We'll just do standard homing missiles, why not? Except, so now when we go over to these homing missiles, we gotta wait that 15 seconds because we were technically in combat. Somebody found us. Slightly annoying, but whatever. All right. All right, so now when we fire this missile, if you look directly below me, it doesn't do it on standard missiles. Oh, great. What a fantastic example. Wow, I thought it was applied to all of them. Apparently it's not to standard homing. I don't think it's on mines yet. Yeah, it doesn't work on mines. I knew that one. Well, tell you what, guys, no matter how much you prepare for something in your life, you're never fully going to be prepared for it. Let's try the EMP missiles. Oh yes, we have to wait the 15 seconds. How convenient for a stream. Gosh. All right, okay. All right, so EMP missile, we fire it. There, you see it now? It shows you the cooldown for how quickly you can fire it back to back. That's what I'm trying to talk about. All right, well, now that that's out of the way, whoo! Goodness gravy. Tell you what. All right. So, let's answer a couple more questions because, whoo! I know that they're stacking up. Next question round. Here we go. So, will that bypass location be fixed with a hotfix or with the fall update? Great question. I have talked with some folks internally. I think that we desire to do another hotfix. The chances of it are low, okay? And I want to be clear on that front as to why, because I know some people are like, what? Why don't you just push an update like every week? You're showing us this content. Why don't you just let us play with it? It's an early access after all. We should be able to do that. So in short, you're kind of right, but also no. In general, with every hotfix means we have to do extra work in order to prepare all of those files and all of that content in order to redistribute it to all the appropriate facets. One in particular has been a little bit of a thorn in our side. I'm not going to say any names, Microsoft, but sometimes you can have these issues that arise that are just kind of frustrating, and they soak up a lot of what could otherwise be used as development time, okay? And we want to make the game. That's what it comes down to. We give these very massive chunks, like the summer update, that you can start diving into this new content to experience, to explore. We hotfix when there are major key issues. Right now, not being able to fast travel into Drake, I know it's a little frustrating, maybe inconvenient is a better word, but it's not a main issue. It's not very crazy. So, but we have been picking up a couple of more intimate issues that are making some gameplay experiences fall a little under. And because of those, we might push a hotfix. And if we do, that would come included with the mix. Okay, so cool. Basically, I said all of those words to basically say it's a possibility, but don't get any expectations. But I feel like the context behind that, something like that, is incredibly important, guys. It really is. It really is. All right, a couple more questions, and then we'll get back into more me exploding, I suppose. I gotta fix this layout. That's what I gotta do. Next question. Will there be more tweaking to the renowned job system, for example, in relation rewards? Yes, there will. Straight up, there's going to be more rewards, different rewards. I don't know if they've actually been implemented here, so I might share something I'm not supposed to. We're going to see. Nope, it hasn't been changed. So yeah, like the rewards down here, this is actually something that will change, guaranteed 100%. So yeah, straight up telling you that. In relation to the job type, I see the rest of your question. It's just gonna kind of be randomized based on the job, but the jobs are always going to have a more equivalent credit and experience value based on that job, whereas the rewards are just kind of a toss-up. So if you see an outlaw-based destruction that gives you, I don't know, it's a pair of socks, and you have a minesweeping job and it gives you 14 star-forged items, like, go for that job. I don't know why you wouldn't be choosing the minesweeper job. It's very preferential, but obviously we would like there to be a little bit more of elasticity towards the itemization regarding what you are doing. So jobs are something that's going to continue to get refinements all the way up to 1.0 release and probably even after. So it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. All right, last question before we jump into more. Will Alec eventually have wingmen when he jumps into help like in EVERSPACE 1? EVERSPACE 1 was the progression of Alec, of being a lowly scrub into becoming something of a force to be reckoned with due to his newfound position through more or less bribing the clone, right? The clone helped Alec get to the position of power that he obtained. When the clone vanished, and started working for GMB and wasn't able to help out Alec anymore, Alec may or may not have abused his power, misused his power, which is why he kind of maybe got thrown out of the coalition. Lore stuff, weren't expecting that for a response. So, because of those events, Alec's probably not gonna rise back up to power with the coalition, but since he's a part of your kind of independent home base faction, if you will, like the clone faction, we'll call it. I don't know, it's kind of a random whatever. He has a squad, which is kind of you. So it's not another faction that's swooping in to save him anymore. He's found how resourceful he becomes when he is in operation in tandem with you as the main character. All right. Lots of big answers today, but I love these questions. Yes, when you are flying at stuff in super light, it will change to where you can't just fly through it. That will be changed. That's just something we haven't worked on because it was creating the long and the short of it is that it was creating a major issue with development. So we removed it so we could just work on stuff that mattered, and we'll plug it back in, or rather fix it, I should say, where planets, asteroids, other cosmic entities will actually have proximity so that the proximity alert is valid. So I do like that question. Another product of early access. Oh my goodness. And now I'm not saying early access there is an excuse, by the way. I'm just saying this is because we're still working on it. I'm not saying it as an excuse that we're not gonna fix it. Like, we are absolutely gonna fix it. I wanna be clear. I never say, oh yeah, early access, just to like discredit or invalidate your guys' questions or thoughts, because I think this is a good question. It's just something that we've moved to do later due to the nature of how it is coded and the struggles that it creates, so that we can instead focus on the important content. Any thought about adjusting crafting? Yes, straight up, just yes. We are very likely going to make some adjustments on crafting, like with how certain things are crafted themselves. Oh, hey, Alec, we were just talking about you. Let me see if I can get the rest of that question. Should be able to modify crafted gear, at least be able to add a catalyst. So actually, no, that's probably not going to be changed. We want crafted gear to be just that, crafted. You need something in the pinch. You need to, actually, right now is a great example because I don't like our stuff. We need to make something that's better. So instead of, like using something that we found, I was hoping that we actually found something decent. What we can do here is we can craft something that could very much be better if I actually had crafting. Bad example again, because I don't have stuff to craft, but whatever. We'll do a blaster, which is clearly worse. Whatever. If we were building up our crafting accordingly, this save file was important. Now I'm making excuses. Anyway, but yeah, we very much don't want modified equipment to be, or excuse me, we don't want crafted stuff to be modifiable. If you want the best stuff, you've got to earn it. You've got to find it. That's how we want it to be. All right, there we go. And obviously that will trail off the further you get into the game. So especially primaries and secondaries, that's going to be more appealing to craft on your progression forward. Whereas when you get to the end game, crafting primaries and secondaries is all but going to vanish. But there's still a lot of legitimacy to crafting your consumables and to crafting catalysts and to crafting components that are needed for, you know, those things. So yeah, the whole system kind of revolves around that progression, if you will. New reflect shots mode would totally near instantly destroy gas harvester boss with his uber later, wouldn't it? Did you try? It's not accessible until after that boss. I could cheat and plug it into the game for that specific boss, but even still, he has an invincibility shield whenever he fires that beam, so you couldn't reflect it back to do any damage anyway. Oh my god. Unfortunate. Alright. Let's answer some more questions as I explode the things. Plasma and scrap metal. Oh, it's so nice getting scrap metal from these sources as I freeze. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
I've got this.
That frost, man. That frost is brutal. All right, well, now I've got plenty of time to answer some more questions. Woo! I might need to jump over to a different save to show actual competence. It's fine. It's fine. We'll revert back to the base, though. Is the shield generator the only new device being added so far, or is there several on the way planned, but you can't talk about them now? Correct. Yeah, we're not done with devices. Why do warrens don't turn into black holes? For gamification purposes, honestly. In EVERSPACE 1, for the roguelike formula, it made a bit more sense for them to be volatile, so that when you engage them, you have to be careful to not lose your run. In EVERSPACE 2, it would just be annoying. You go up to that ancient mission and what the who's it's over in, you know, the Kite Nebula, right? You're like doing the mission and it's like a big old boss battle over at, where the heck's it at? Ancient Citadel? What's it? Aethorian? No, it's Charbor Tower. You do this big battle at Charbor Tower after you've done all the different puzzling little things to set everything up. You're like, man, I don't want to do that again because puzzles in this game are dumb. Some people. And after you've done all of that, then you have to fight this ancient warden. You kill it, and it explodes into a black hole, which instantly kills you, so it resets the entire mission to the beginning, so you have to like do all the things again. That would not be fun. Because of the nature of the progression of EVERSPACE 2, instead of it being in a roguelike loop, and now it being in a more pseudo-open world RPG progression of power and of character development and stuff like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have things that just instantly kill you. It's not fun. Because then you're just like, I have to reload and try this again in the exact same way, just as before. And that's, no. So that's why. That's honestly why. Gamification. Will there be something like G&B distress beacons? There are G&B distress beacons. Oh, you mean like as a consumable, like a returning EVERSPACE 1 consumable. I'm really thinking hard about this. So, I think you're talking about a consumable? Maybe? Question mark? I don't think you're talking about a consumable. I need more clarity on that one. Because there are distress beacons that show up.
The option to gain distance rather than meet them head on.
Like distress signals show up, G&B needs help, if that's what you're talking about. Here, let's go somewhere else in Drake. Let's go to a site that we haven't been to. Let's go to the Coalition Cargo Terminal, which might have something that's appealing to you all. That should be nice. That should be good. For all the ROCKFISH Games crew, what ship would each of you like to see either built or rebuilt in physical form? Says Deshra, who's put together a lot of the ships with the little, I forget whether it's snap ships or whatever. I want to see the ship that Commissioner Hawk flies, the Colonial Cruiser. Put that one together, please. That would make me happy. Can you fire a full salvo of unguided rockets? Just curious how the fire rate cooldown works with them now. I feel like I've seen that question before. This is probably an older question, so my apologies for not getting to them very fast. But I'll fire these as fast as possible. That is legitimately how long it takes to fire them. Yeah, let's go catch up. I don't know what I was expecting. But there you go. I think the system recovery routine consumable could be buffed a bit. Maybe adding some status immunity time would be nice. The system recovery routine? The what? Isn't that the one that legitimately like allows you to use? Wait, which one is that? Hey, can you help explain the game to me who should know everything about the game really quick? Which one's the system recovery routine? I can't see any here, so I don't have a cheat sheet. Isn't that the one that like, oh my gosh, the freaking removes debuffs. Okay. Thank you, Crispy Muffin. I look over. No, the one that removes debuffs, I feel like that one's insanely good already. If it also lasted for an X period of time, I feel like it's just even more good. The fact that you can use them like back to back, so like if you use one, you get everything cleared, you get hit, unfortunately, you use another one. Like that's already very powerful. That's already very powerful. Also, we don't want to be at 3, we want to be over here. We're at the wrong base. Let's go over here. Ships and supplies. Why am I being incredibly clear about what I am doing? Maybe it's because something at this location might be relevant for purchases in the future. Just pointing it out. That is all. But also, there's another way to obtain this so that you guys are aware. You do not have to go all the way through the entire game to get the front shield generator. You can actually find it sooner. As I've already alluded to, however, it is after the end of Zarkov because of that particular boss. But I digress. I digress. All right. In particular, I die a bit during the stream today. Whew. Grass. All right. Let's look around a little bit more in this territory, because I know that there's some things popping up and there's some stuff that shows internal. Look at that. That's softened UI. That means that there should be a way to get in here. Is this a crack or a crevice? I think it is. Oh yeah, like a glove. I'm sure there's a way to get in here. Sure, I didn't try this earlier and got completely wrecked. Anyway. Ooh, titanium. I love exploring internal environments. I was a big fan of Descent whenever I was younger, so I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there too who would kind of agree with that. But we took a bit of inspiration from Descent in making this game. Of course, Descent was like all internal spaces, if you like remember the original Descent. Yeah, anyway. I went the wrong way, didn't I? I did. Whoops. All right, quick timeout. Do some questions. How's the team feel about the RNG layering of buffs on weapons, like grade plus prefix plus damage catalyst? How do we feel about that? Good? We like being able to, like, take these wacky and obtuse and, frankly speaking, powerful combinations to generate something so much better. So, like, right now, my level and the number of mainframe expansions I have and the gear that I have, I am in a little bit of a pickle based on the location that I reside in. Specifically, Drake as a whole. Like you can see there's purple up here, which indicate that it's at least 2 or more levels higher than me. And so you can immediately tell that these ones that are gray are probably either close to my level or still above. Now that being said, you know, there are so many different discussions that could be had about level scaling. They're still being tweaked, it's still being modified. It will be till the day we die, not let alone till the 1.0 release. But yeah, that's stuff that we will continue to improve upon. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, if you're finding ways to like stack your weaponry, like you get Star Forged with a catalyst that does a really powerful thing, and you know, that's great. That's great. We want you guys to stack. We want you guys to like make things absurd and go crazy with it for your particular builds. You earn that through the natural progression of the game, right? Like whether you are devoting a lot of time to crafting or you're doing a lot of exploration, you know, inevitably you will find stuff that is good, and we want you to be able to capitalize on that for sure. We absolutely want you to do that. So yeah, we feel pretty good about it. If your question was more in line to how random it will be, that's always something that's going to be continued to tweak. We'll continue to tweak. So, yeah. Thanks for that question. Here's another one before we dive back into the action. There are some rare and special weapons in the game, like the Executioner or the Disintegrator. Yes, these are variants. We call them variants. But they don't have blueprints, correct. Any idea when we will be able to get a blueprint on them? So originally, the crafting worked to where if you crafted, say, a primary, a pulse laser, you could randomly get a Jaeger, you could randomly get a pulse laser, stuff like that. But we felt like that was actually too much. So we scaled back the crafting. And when I say we felt like, I'm not saying just internally we didn't think about it very much. We're like, oh, why spend a thought on it? Let's just, No, like it was based on feedback. It was based on internal testing. It was based on a number of factors. We felt like we want to keep crafting in a more simplified format to fill those gaps. This is kind of something we were talking about earlier, right? So added blueprints of variants in here, it starts looking a little bit too diverse for what we're trying to supply in regards to what primaries and secondaries do in this crafting territory. So it's not likely, if at all, that those style of blueprints for variants will show up. Modifying the specialty equipment, however, is very possible. Maybe this is what we need to do. Maybe we need to install a catalyst here. Let's do that. Now we have a powerful Jaeger. All right. Can we get a salvo setting of sorts for the rockets so you can set it to fire 1 to 5 rockets per click? I feel such a setting would be justified because there's so many. A salvo setting of sorts for the rockets. That's getting into preferential territory, which I'll just straight up tell you, we don't want to add features like that. Because that's adding an extra layer of depth to the game that would already make things... The balance side of things is going to get wonky, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So basically, like, we design intentionally certain weapons that can fire from all hard points at once versus other ones that don't, instead of it being just a modifier that generates on the item, right? Same thing applies to secondaries. Could there be a secondary in the future that fires from 2 different hard points at the same time? It's possible. It's possible. Could there be a secondary that fires a salvo of missiles in the future? It's possible. Look, okay? I loved that weapon in EVERSPACE 1, okay? If it doesn't return, I'm gonna have words to say to my coworkers. Anyway, my point is that that's an extra level of customization that we just don't feel is necessary. I get what you want to accomplish through that. It's just, again, this is preferential. You can still accomplish a great many tasks without that ability. I completely forgot where I'm at in this cave and everything since I'm in these conversations. I think I made progress. I'm just in loops now. Oh my gosh. Goodness gravy. Oh my gosh. But also that would be an absolute ridiculous amount of damage, and we do have lock durations and cooldowns and stuff like that applied intentionally for at least some semblance of balance. Not that somebody's gonna find a way to break it anyway. All right. You were talking about EVERSPACE 1 distress beacons to call in GMB fighters to help it. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about, oh my gosh, Florine. Okay, so I have to clarify. I have to defend myself here. What I was thinking about was the, like the terrain and throng beacons, where you call them in and then you have like opportunities to trade. I was thinking, was there a GMB one for that? My brain was in a weird place, okay? Also, I'm getting out of here because I'm confused. This is pretty scene though. That's pretty scene, like coming out and just being, oh, hello there base that exists. And the cover of Asteroidness. But yeah, so, yeah, no, in regards to calling in GMB reinforcements, or any way to call in reinforcements at all, there has definitely been discussions internally about what that would look like, and you've even seen it firsthand in how it's not working as intended. Whenever I was showcasing high-risk areas, kind of like an earlier state, for example, we got to see how Alec can completely bork the challenge of a high-risk area, because it's not that he does a lot of damage, it's that he pulls off so much damage. Pulls away, like he distracts all the fighters. He pulls aggression. It's like he's taunting them so that you can go do your own thing. And that, well, that creates kind of the issues that we don't want to see. So if we were to add something like that, it would have to be probably more specific in regards to how it's utilized, how it's applied. And yeah, that's kind of that. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, is this? Yes! Yes! I'm actually glad that I was able to do this. Oh, I can't pause. I can't pause right now. Okay, that's fine. I wanted to talk about how the drone mesh has actually changed for the player. So it, oh, stop! I just want to show. You can see that it doesn't have legs anymore. Like its legs were just cut off, and it also looks a bit cleaner. Man, that, woo! It's definitely hard to see in regards to, oh gosh, oh goodness, oh, we can buff out those scratches, with all the shaking. But regardless, we did in fact change, we did in fact change that too. Wow, goodness. You guys have asked so many questions today. I'm like trying to power through them while showing content. This is absurd. Oh my goodness. But I love this. I love this so much. I wouldn't change it for the world. Let me just do a quick double check and make sure I've got through all the content. And then we'll finish up your questions as well. Thank you so much for being here. You guys have all been a blast. It's been so good. Yeah, so destructible structures now drop scrap metal. Cerealia drone damage was reduced. There were a couple other tweaks I haven't talked about yet, but those will come in time. Don't worry about it. New drone mesh. We have reduced. No, we increased the range of secondary weapons with the scout expertise. We added the cruise missile. We changed the perk screen layout. We added the front shield generator device, and the secondaries now have a cooldown indicator. Some secondaries. That should say some secondaries now have a cooldown generator. Am I right? Oh my gosh. All right, let's try this one more time. Now I'm actually gonna like attempt to do this properly. Wow, I don't know how many of you guys play with screen shake. I'm told to use it during these live streams because it creates a more realistic experience, even though I don't know why we would need to create a more realistic experience when it's not supposed to, whatever. But hey, oh look, now we can see the drone. Isn't he cute? Can we turn off those lights? No. Isn't he cute? Isn't he adorable? Don't you like him? Isn't he your friend now? Here, can we, yeah, there we go. It's kind of like photo mode. Isn't that great? Adorable. Wonderful. Squad 9! Alright, let's hack this terminal. Can we name the drone? He already has a name. Powerful Jaeger. And a Maverick Prime Zapper. That feels bad, man. That's almost like it just kicked us. When we're already down. How dare you? Getting stuff a level below is painful, isn't it? Maybe something should be done about that. All right, so I'm gonna put this corrosion mine up here. I'm gonna scrap all this crap. I'm gonna keep the equalizer because I need the kinetic damage actually. So, yeah, there we go. Fun. Oh, time! We should probably swap over and look at some of your guys' screenshots. So let's go ahead and we'll just dock at this base. This is fine. No, the base is over there. Lol. Beautiful. We'll get a little stoppy stop action going on. We might also pick up another ship, by the way, because I was looking at, where's it at? The Banshee earlier, and I was like, oh man, that could be really fun to show like the new changes that the expertise is actually working. And the ship's changed since I looked at these last, because there was also a Vanguard, which I actually haven't shown how the ult was changed way back when. It's live in your version, but the ult, the slowdown of the ult is actually fixed to where you actually gain speed. You're faster. And if you haven't tried that out, definitely do so if you're a Vanguard player, or if you have steered clear from the Vanguard because you felt the alt sucks. It is a healthy bit better. So anyway, so saving that. And then I'm also going to just reload the perk update to show one more time for anybody who missed it. I just want to give an authentic look at it. I've been saying authentic a lot. Whew. Things that you recognize when you start talking. But yeah, so the base change here is that the perks now show you their progression before you've unlocked them. So like Delia is a really sound example of that, right? You can see everything that it does. You don't have to wonder, oh, this is level 2 of 6. I don't know what 3, 4, 5, and 6 do, or if I should care. Well, now you can care. Now you can actually see. Now you can actually see. So yeah, definitely something that we intentionally did for you guys. It was, I think this one was partially a community request. Like, we hadn't really thought about it until somebody mentioned it, and they were like, oh yeah, we should probably end up doing this. Either from Steam forum, or I think it was a Steam forum post. But I think Tease was already doing this anyway. He just hadn't implemented it yet. Whatever. Whatever. I'm just glad that we're on the same page of things that can make our lives a little bit easier. Showing off the Ochre homeworlds or way of life in the main story with add-ons in the future pertaining to the Ochre. Asked Bill Farson. Uh-oh, can you still hear me? Something just disconnected on my computer. The stream is gonna be challenged here in these last couple minutes. I'm sure it is. So without further ado then, let's jump over and start talking about the screenshots you guys have collected this last week. Oh my goodness. There was one other question that I saw, and it was pertaining to, a little bit unfortunate, but it was pertaining to the ROCKFISH recaps. So I know that I said last week that it was delayed, right? And well, obviously it is, because we're nearing the end of the month now. We're over the halfway point, and we haven't seen a recap for July. Guys, I promise you, we will get the recaps out there. Sometimes it's just a process, you know? So thank you for your patience as we work on those recaps to present to you guys. You know, there's a number of factors and details that we are taking care of over here at ROCKFISH Games, and sometimes the creation of a video just doesn't take priority. It's, you know, it's just part of the process of development. It's just part of the process. So I'm just glad that we're able to do the recaps at all, frankly speaking. But I do have to have the time and the space to bring them to life. So the July ROCKFISH recap will in fact make its appearance soon. And then closely followed by the August. But yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right into the screenshots that you guys have been collecting. A lot of fun, really cool. I think I caught up on all the questions, so neat. This first one comes from Crispy Muffin. Crispy Muffin said that this is like the Gang Wars 3, the final battle thing. His computer was being a little bit of a butt. It was heating up considerably, chugging away. But I love some of the shots that he captured. I love this one and how frantic, how chaotic it is, with both the Zerilia and the Retaliators duking it out as everything's just getting pummeled to death. Very good action shot, I feel like. And we also have another one from Crispy Muffin who does a really great job of these action shots, I want to say. I love this coming out of the water, and you guys did too. There were several of you who thumbs this up in the Discord, so I had to grab it, show it to you all, because I dig it. I think it's great. We have another one from Crispy Muffin. I do these in order, by the way. Anybody who's wondering, like, well, why'd you do 3 Crispy Muffin and then go over to another person and then come back to Crispy? It's because I do it in chronological order from last week. And you guys like to do photo dumps. So I'll choose a couple. I usually try to just take one, but if there's a grouping of some really cool ones, I try to take a couple. This one's also from Crispy Muffin as well. But I love the way that we've got this ship getting ready to be exploded from that missile. Like, it just... mere milliseconds to live. I love it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Look over the chat. Videos not taking development? Shade opaque devs admitting it doesn't take precedence while in a transparent stream that happens weekly. Streaming and creating content videos, two different things. I want to point that out. Anyway. But that did make me chuckle a little, so thank you for that. All right, next up we got Kazaa. And a nice clean shot. Ships zipping through space. You love to see it. You got some pleasant colorations going on. You love to see it. Soft, gentle tones give you an expanse of the world. I love it. I love it. Oh, I see some of you guys are reading the marquee down below. Good, good, as you should, as you should. There's sometimes spoilers in there. Sometimes I'm gonna like try to throw you off. But yeah, you know, a day in the life of EVERSPACE person. You're gonna have news sources that are weird and fun, and yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Kazaa again. And this should look pretty familiar since we were just there today and we died several times. We died a lot today. I think I'm gonna update the save file. So, not that I don't enjoy a challenge, but when I'm showcasing a lot of stuff, you probably don't like seeing me just die. You'd much rather see the content being shown. So I'm probably gonna boost that up for next week's stream, you know, just to simplify the process. We can also show off those level 25 perks in action. I think that will be a healthy thing. But I do love the way that Kazaa captures this. You get that full scene of a completely destroyed station. A lot of challenges have definitely been present in the Drake system between these vying factions, and it is of no surprise, or at least it shouldn't be, that any base whatsoever, whether it's military, civilian, scientific, what have you, it's not going to last long in a place of turmoil. The Chemical Bro, always giving us some fantastic vertical shots. Wow! I love it. I love the dark bordering that he implemented in this shot. It puts the entire focus on this with all of these added details on the frame. It comes together so beautifully. So very nice shot. Very nice shot, the Chemical Bro. Love it. I see that there's more questions coming in. That's great. Geekbyte, if you can, keep plugging those in, and I'll check them out here in a moment or two. Geekbyte. Speaking of Geekbyte, we have this shot. I think it's from a while back, maybe, or maybe it's a more recent one. I'm not sure. But yeah, taking a photo of the wreckage over at Cryptus Bowl, the recycling plant. It's always nice to see photos of like these previous locations, because sometimes you get them captured in a unique way that you weren't looking at them before. Just seeing how desolate this site is, it's kind of a good reminder about how out of hand G&B has kind of gotten with their technologies and replacements, and how much just chaos generally happens with the replacement of technology and all of the various leftover colonial tech from the Okar colonial conflict. Really got so pretty cool stuff. It's very recent. Okay, awesome. We have Excel, who was excelling in the photo department. That's terrible. Anyway, I love it. I love this shot. I love how everything is exploding. It's just super cool. Very, very rad. I love the scout and just not giving a single care in the world as it is blasting out of that, conquesting its massive prey. Super neat. I dig it. Next up, we've got another one from Excel. This is hilarious. This is kind of how I felt actually in the stream today, where this is the player. Hello. And these are all the shots. It's beautiful. Very nice, very nice. strong feeling of how the game is completely rigged against you. Good shot. We also have the Chemical Bro providing another fantastic vertical shot. That framing though, it's so nice. It's so pleasant. This looks like something you'd see like in like a Photoshop tutorial, you know, it's like somebody's like, oh, come make a planet, it takes 10 minutes, and like follow the layer progression or whatever. And then just like your background. The fact that this actually exists in the game, and then freaking the Chemical Bros all like, I wanna do something for like a screenshot on my phone. Like, I love how it's so centralized to where if you did put this on your phone, it would actually, I'm trying to get like a sense of, yeah, that would totally work. Like, you would have all your data right there. I love it. That's a great shot for a phone background. Very, very cool. We have a slew from High Barf as well. He sent a lot in. This one seemed to get a lot of attention from others. It also does a really good job of showcasing his particular style. And you guys know this. I love highlighting the styles that you choose and seeing the colors that you mishmash. And, you know, the lights as well. It does such a good job of creating that added pop. And here it's no different, you know, even though that the paint scheme on the wings has this red and this blue, the highlights being in green, it's almost like a poisonous frog. It's giving me like poisonous frog vibes, like a poisonous amphibian. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. Getting ready to strike with a bunch of corrosion or something. Very, very cool. All right, then we also have an individual named Dark Chaos who loves these almost panoramic shots. And these are very detailed shots, by the way. Like, we can keep zooming in a bit. Like, this looks like a single photo, but then this is also a single photo, and then this is also a single photo. He puts these together with a lot of attention to detail, and they come together incredibly well. All of these, by the way, that I've pulled are available on Discord in our Screenshots channel. So if you are wanting to maybe pull one for a photo or a desktop or, you know, whatever, you have that accessibility at your fingertips, okay? Very, very cool shot. Like, I almost feel like you could have this like a slow panning sort of, I don't know, experience somewhere. You could plug it in. Very nice, very neat. Maybe it would go this way though, so the ship looks like it's moving across the screen, but I digress. I love it. Very neat, Dark Chaos, keep it up. Wizard Jerry also throwing in one for the mix. Just wanted to highlight him. There you go. Wizard Jerry, I don't think posts a lot of screenshots, and you know, when you guys try out posting a screenshot for the first time, I like to give you the highlights so people can judge you very critically and very harshly whether you should be taking screenshots anymore or not. I'm kidding, but am I? Okay, all right. I think that has turned out pretty great. I think it's pretty solid. I love how you've got so many foes being targeted by this ult. Captures that unlimited power very well. And I love how you're doing so with the tier 3 in the Drake system. Very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Super high quality. Keep it up. Another panoramic shot from Dark Chaos once again. I think that little yellow scout must be his favorite because I see that little guy or not scout, stinger, excuse me. That little yellow stinger in all of his shots. I think that might be his favorite. But yeah, love this one for Zarkov, where you're seeing a blend of all of these different aspects of this site, including but not limited to like the planets in the distance, right? But this massive base and all the details thereof, and you got this drone carrier that admittedly does look a little bit weird with all these lines jarred out, but regardless, great panoramic once again. Love how it all comes together. We've got Perk, who also posted a couple of their photos in the Discord, some stuff that they had. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it was. It does look like it was from the most recent update. Okay. Thank goodness for that early access tag. Am I right? But I love how they are showcasing that they can complete challenges. This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily do. I'm not sure why, but some locations, especially in the Kite Nebula, they actually change a little bit when you finish up the location challenge, and this is one of those sites that does so. So you can see the completionist at work, and I like how it brings together just some very simple line usage with a color palette that's rather soft. You know, we got that blue mixed with just enough orange to complement it. So it stands out. It's really good. Really good. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing like some comments over on YouTube. You guys are crazy. I love each and every one of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so you guys know, I always filter through all of the photos for every single stream. I'm just adding to the conversation from over on YouTube. Sorry, Twitch. Hang on a second. But yeah, if you can post more consolidated quality shots for me, that would be amazing. I do love the photo dumps, don't get me wrong. I really do. But man, you can ask Geekbite, because he, you know, him hosting the stream a couple weeks ago, he knows now, like, the process of setting up a stream and all of its beauties and all of its terrors, man, screenshot collection is a pain. So, help me out by helping yourself out and highlighting your best work. That's my recommendation. All right, next up, this one was weird, by the way, from Sirloin. If you are in the chat, when you posted this, I have to like download a link in order to get it at all. I think there is a way to like process it. I think, like down process it to where it fits in Discord so you don't have to download it. I'd have to like backtrack and figure out the specific way. If I find it, I'll send it to you. If you're not in the chat at all, well, who cares, because he can't hear me. Ha! But otherwise, I do love the shot of the gunship. And it's got this like, something's going on surrounding it vibe, like some sort of mysterious invisible shield thing. You can like, especially here, you can see there's something close by it. I can't put my finger on what's causing that. I don't know if it's like the boost effect. It might be. I'm not sure. But I like it. I like the way that it comes across. So, cool shot. I dig it. And of course, it also shows Sirloin's tastes of what his ship would look like. So that's always a pleasure. Next up. This one's always a popular one to shoot. I don't know why. It's almost like it's referencing something. Yeah, just a nice, clean, simple shot. This one comes from Kirito JPK. I love it. I dig it. It's solid. I love it when you guys like bring these types of things to the table and you're showing us your devotion to the type of work that we do. It's really appreciated, and it's also showing your wit, if you will. So keep that up too. We have about 7 minutes left. I'm gonna cruise through 5 more shots that will answer some questions to top off the stream. I love this shot so much, Excel. I love this. There was a comment exchange regarding like the density of the ice asteroid fields, and I could not agree more. This reminds me of effectively like a play test of EVERSPACE 1 before it even hit the prototype phase, like before it hit the alpha status. That's what this reminds me of. There's this incredibly dense asteroid field for like just testing out the hardware to create EVERSPACE 1. And it's like we can actually accomplish that in game now with EVERSPACE 2, like massive jump forward from a technological standpoint. I love this so much for that referential quality. Whether you meant to do that or not, I don't know, but that's really what it does for me in particular. But the density here and like the way that the light shines on the ice asteroids, I've already told you guys, it's like one of my favorite things. I dig it so much. Like even if it's like subtle, like you get such rich detail of just an ice-teroid. Like there's no reason that should look this good. There's zero reason, and yet here we are. Ah, I dig it. So nice capture of that location, Excel. Very cool. Next one, we got Flory, who's also in a similar location, but highlighting dead style. I love this nice clean. It's either like a jet black or a dark, it's like a grayish, blackish sort of coloration, but those red highlights make it pop. Oh my gosh. I also do love that particular wing on the Interceptor. I think that looks just dandy with your combination going on. Good stuff. And bonus points for that, just little added bits of framing with like planets in the background and mixtures of other asteroids. It's always a bonus to really showcase the amount of depth that takes place in these environments. We also have another one from Flory. This one's a bit more frosty, and they even showed the process if you look in the Discord and how they're like messing with the frost mines and then like triggering them off at certain intervals to get that frosted effect over the ship, as well as just really cool looking explosions. Yeah, neat, very fun. Very fun. Gonna go to another one from Highbarf. Super simple look. Super simple. I dig it. Seeing perspectives from other factions, for some reason, I get a big kick out of, because you don't recognize the ship at first. It feels like something unique and new and exciting, and which is what this does for me. This new ship that we have the bottom of the screen that we're looking out from, it feels new, different, and exciting. It's just a commonplace coalition fighter. But man, just being able to see this and like the tubing on the outside and the little details like for its missile payload, that's so fun. Like it's that being able to see that level of detail when you zoom in on shots like this, that's what it's all about. I love it. I love it. There's so much quality and precision added into every single one of these units. And when you guys capture that, and then of course you also have, this massive station that's being showcased, but like being able to see those little details, I think it's one of the wonders that I get to experience through your screenshot sharing. So thank you for that. Very, very good stuff. Last but not least, we've got Flory, who captured the frost effect itself. Very neat. I know someone's gonna complain about this, be like, it shouldn't be on the dashboard, it should only be on the glass itself. We like how it's completely frozen everything. The internal temperature of this ship is actually negative 700,000 degrees. Go ahead and convert that into your local amount. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, no, I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. I love the way that it's captured. This effect also applies if you're in third-person mode, so you're aware. Man, I cannot wait for us to do more to these cockpits, huh? Just want to throw that out there. That would be pretty great. All right, cool. All right, well, that's all the screenshots for today. Let's get into like a final round of questions. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. Sweet. I just needed to pull up the question list so that I could actually answer them. We'll keep this in the background for the moment because I really dig that one. So, we got questions. So wouldn't it be nice to be able to, is this a question or is this a suggestion? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to see if the stats that equipment would give if upgraded, but without having to go to the crafting scene? Yeah, this looks like a suggestion. Because yeah, it would be nice. And I would definitely recommend posting it onto the forums. Based on how this is composed. Like, I get where you're coming from, for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like in my conversation earlier about, various conversations about certain aspects of the game getting priority versus others that it gets simplified, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I can't guarantee you that we would be able to implement something like this. But yeah, I mean, we love those quality of life features and encourage you guys to recommend more and more and more to see what we can do on that front. So yeah, no worries whatsoever. Now we've got like legitimately 1 minute where I can just chat with you all. I have to leave like promptly. We're gonna have a series of streams where I have to leave promptly at 3, my 3 o'clock. which is like 30 seconds from now because of personal elements. But you guys have been awesome today. I know that we had a number of bugs at first, and we kind of crashed a little bit more due to our underleveled status. I will correct that for next week. But I'm so excited always seeing your beautiful faces show up, asking these obscure questions, being able to highlight new stuff that's going to be coming your way, whether it's in a hotfix or in a fall release. You know, like I really hope that you guys appreciate the perk screen rework and what that's going to do, as well as the addition of the cruise missile, which admittedly probably needs a little bit more balancing to it. A little bit. We're pretty happy with where it's at. And then the front shield generator, which I'm excited to show you some more on that one next week. But yeah, otherwise, you've been awesome. I've been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for Rockfish Games. Don't stop being awesome. We'll catch you next week, and Rockfish recaps will be coming out soon. All right, toodles! This is your constant reminder that EVERSPACE 2 is in an early access phase, and it will go up in price when it reaches 1.0 in 2023. That is the beginning of next year, in fact. So if you would like to support us, you can do so in one of three ways. That's right. There are two specific ways. Math is hard. One way is that you can wish list us. Those wish lists help promote sales in general by telling people that something you're following is worth it. It also helps you out because when it goes on sale, boom, you know, and you can buy it for a nice little discount. The second way is you don't give a single F and you just buy the game right now. It doesn't matter if it's on sale or not. That support is always huge. And the last way, of course, is to wait for that full 1.0 release so you don't have to deal with all the bugs and the nonsense of me going, but it's early access. You can avoid all those shenanigans completely. You want to see if we're going to reach all of our promises that we've adhered to? By all means, wait it out. We encourage you to do so if that's your thing. But do note, 1.0, that price will in fact go up. The choice is yours. And now you are equipped to make a decision. All right, folks, I'm really peacing out. Don't stop being awesome. And toodles again. And now it's time to give some love to Corbin, streaming Horizon Zero Dawn.